Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and it's Brick Hall o'clock with some really vital pieces for our Halloween specials. Alright, I've just lowered the camera so we can actually see things a bit better and I can see over it more because it's quite a tall box, it's quite a big one this order. I'm not sure how many different wonderful pieces we've got in, but we've certainly got quite a lot of them. So let's get this thing open. Bubble wrap. Got some very nice big bags underneath it all. So one big bag, two big bags, three big bags. Looks very neatly packed. It is an order of largely used pieces. Right, so let's get to it in no particular order. So before I start, the main agenda for this order was getting all of the pieces that I need for my subway build, which will be my second full subway station, which will kind of be near the airport and the fairground and serving both. And I decided quite a while back to make this a haunted subway station, partly so I could use some fun ghost pieces and stuff like that, partially so I'd have a multi-part Halloween special, which will be starting next Monday. And partially just to make it different from the other one, really, because technically it should be very similar to the other one because it's in the same network and so on. You want it to be recognisable as a citywide system, but this makes it a little bit different. Well, quite a lot different as it will turn out, but I think it's going to be really fantastic. But nonetheless, I'm going to need a lot of normal sort of dark bluish grey pieces in order to do all that back wall and all of the structure of the platforms and so on. And I think that's largely what this first bag is full of. So we've got an absolute stack of these 8x8 plates, which are going to form the platform. We're going to be tiling the platforms as well, so they'll just be supporting that. So there's no need to buy all of these pieces brand new, because they'll probably be about twice the price. And quite frankly, even if they're slightly discoloured, which these aren't, they'll be covered anyway. So all I need to do is just give these a bit of a wash with normal scrubbing brush and normal washing up liquid and warm water. Treat them slightly differently if they're stickered pieces, but as you can see, most of these aren't. So yeah, more of these plates, most of them 8 wide, to make up my platforms. And largely speaking, you can use any shape you want to make a platform, obviously, but I've gone for 8 wide. But any combination of those will work. So if you need loads, you can have some 6 wide, 8 deep, 8 wide, 8 deep, 4 wide, 8 deep. Doesn't really matter. They're all going to the same place. And as long as it's strong enough to take it, whatever you're going to put on top, which won't be a huge amount, then it's all right. Then we've got loads of arches. And that's because last time I used these right on the bottom, directly onto the table, to sort of be the very first side. That one looks either discoloured or old grey. Might be discoloured, that one. No, yeah, because the other side's all right. But that doesn't matter. I'll just have that side facing in. You see it's slightly different. But also I'm going to have some on the far side. So if there's a dodgy one, then basically you'll never see it. So they're going to basically be the layer of at the bottom, which will be kind of arched like that. And the reason why I did that on the first one is because then it looks kind of subterranean, I think. You have a lot of arches underneath there supporting things, and maybe there's a sewer system underneath, or goodness knows. But so I've got a lot of these 8 by 1 by 2 arches. So that's really good. Got a few more different ones. I've got these ones, which are the 1 by 6 by 1. And I think I'm using those for passenger entrances, so then you need to be about 4 wide, so I'll be a bit smaller. And I've even got one of these, and I think that'll be half of the arch that the actual train will go through and pop out of. So that's those. Then I've got a lot of different profile bricks just to add a bit of interest. So much like the other station, I'm going to have it alternating between these sort of palisade style log bricks, as some people call them, and these profile bricks, which most people refer to as grill, I suppose, profile bricks. Just gives it a bit of interest. I seem to have a few panels I probably need for something or other. Lots of these 1 wide plates. I can't remember exactly what they're for. Probably that back wall that'll have all the tiles on and the adverts and stuff like that. though they won't be adverts in this subway station. Right, then I've got another big bag. Now, while I was here, as I always do with every Bricklink store that I buy from, I go through absolutely all of their other categories just to find, well, absolutely every other piece that might be of use either for an existing specific project or just a general project, really, that is sort of coming up in the future. And this is no different. So these large rock pieces, so you've got the large burp and the sort of pointy one, and even the small big ugly rock piece, or smurp, I don't know, serp, whatever, all these different ones. These ones are actually for my undersea scene. I think I'm going to need an absolute mountain of these, quite literally, to have an undersea mountain. So whenever I'm seeing these in any store, I'm kind of adding them to my basket, unless they're not particularly well priced, of course. So having a load of these, I mean, the great thing about them is you can, as you can see, very quickly start to build up quite a geological feature with very little effort indeed, sort of like that. And what I plan to do is have a very intricate undersea scene, as you know, and well, it's going to be very 3D because we don't have it too sort of pancake sand at the bottom with a few sort of plants and then a few fish above it. I want to have it sort of almost, well, very 3D basically. So I'm going to need some underwater cliffs. I'm going to need all sorts of stuff like that, so we can really see things going on at different levels. I'm going to have a, undersea base and loads of submarines and sea monsters and all sorts of stuff. So having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big ugly rock pieces is literally a drop in the ocean. Anyway, then talking of undersea, I've got more of these. I looked at the bag of these because they've been accumulating, and I've got an absolute load of them, so I might have to stop buying them now. But these are Hero Factory pieces from one set called Kuroda, which was 7156. And he had 6 of these pointy things as his legs, whereas this vendor has 8 of them, which is odd. But you just look at them in my fist, and it kind of looks like a really big, dense undersea plant, if you ask me. Now, they are a bit hard. I wouldn't mind your help, actually. They're a bit hard to connect to each other because they've got this axle hole halfway up, but that's quite visible when it's sort of in a clump like this, and you can see how I'm holding them. They're also nowhere near each other, so I really need a good way of holding them together. Now, at the bottom, it's not really, hold on, let me get that focused. At the bottom, that's not really a sort of standard width thing. You might be able to get a grabber around it. I don't know, but everywhere else isn't really that useful for grabbing onto. So I don't know if I can get a normal sort of, clip going around the bottom there. I'm not sure I can. So how am I going to hold them all together? I could use rubber bands, fish or Lego ones, of course, or I could use this axle thing up here, but the only way I can think to get them at very varied angles is to use some sort of pipe or something like that. But even then, they're all going to be at the same level and kind of connected at that midpoint. What if I want them sort of like that, for example? So, I really need to have a bit more thought about how these things are going to actually be displayed in the underwater scene. So got loads of those, a couple of these big, wide brown pieces. There's only one, actually, for a bigger tree, like my scary tree that I did very recently. That's great, that. And then I've got loads of these round bricks in light grey, and that's because they're going to be the columns in my subway station. A few more bricks, lots of these little 1x1 round bricks. I can't remember where I got them. Oh, I think I bought them because they're a penny each, and I thought I'd use them as some sort of cargo, loose cargo like bits of rock or aggregate or something like that, just in the back of some train, container or something like that. And then the only other interesting piece is this. Now, this is quite interesting. I think this is one hair piece that isn't available generally, and it's just available through the Build minifigure wall. So this is the piece 35701, which is just girl's hair with pigtails. And there's lots of different colours of it. I mean, you can get it in dark azure for the new sort of Poppy Star character. You can get it in dark orange for the Series 18 birthday party girl. There's a few Chinese New Year sets with it in black. And you can even get it in dark brown now in the new main square set 60271, which has my statue in it. But not in reddish brown, and this is reddish brown. So it is on the Bricklink catalogue, so obviously it exists, and I'm holding one, so that's pretty good proof it exists as well. But obviously people who've been to the local Lego store and done build a minifigure and found a novel piece of headwear have bought them. And now I've got one as well, because I live nowhere near a store. When are they going to open one in Nottingham? I don't know. So that is great to have. Very happy to have that. Bit more variety. Then bag number 3. I'm just going to tip this out to the side, I think. It's also got another sub bag in it. Oh, and some minifigures. Right. So, minifigures, in no particular order. So these were quite cheap. They aren't necessarily ones that I was desperate for, but I might even break them up and use the interesting pieces. So you'll recognise this if you've seen Lego Movie 2. This is Rex Dangervest. He was in a couple of sets, well, probably more than a couple of sets, but this particular variation of him was in 2 sets, including 70835, Rex's Rexplorer, which is a fantastic little set. I mean, check out the big guns. There's about 4 different types of really big sort of handgun in that they've sort of cobbled together out of many different pieces. And if ever I need some super sort of space marines or something like that with huge guns, and I think I might borrow some of those ideas. But Rex himself is relatively straightforward, but I could use his body relatively easily. It's got the R logo, but he could be a workman or something like that. Love the hairpiece, which I think is unique to him. And then the head also. Wonderful. Oh, and 2-sided. So, yeah, he's looking very smarmy there and very angry indeed there. So, yeah, that's great for parts, even if I don't have Rex as an actual character. Another one is Ma Cop. So you'll know her from the Lego Movie 1. I've actually already got this figure, which was part of 70809, Lord Business's Evil Lair, which is the really big one with the Craggle and the stuff like that. Yeah, I've already got this, but I figured another female torso for a policeman or maybe even a security person or something like that, because it's a relatively generic badge. But also for the old lady head and the old lady hair as well. I think that was just over £1, so I mean, you really can't argue at that. Third, Wild West Wild Style from the Lego Movie as well. So that was actually from the series of minifigures that came out for that movie. And, well, no idea really, other than I didn't have this one. She hasn't got the fan, it's just a minifigure, which would be the accessory. And I've got this hairpiece several times, but the head's really good. Is it 2-sided? No. But that's a really nice face. And then, well, the torso, just a corset top. Technically, you could wear that all over. I'd probably change the arms to yellow, so it looks like she's got bare arms. But yeah, corset top could be a girl going out to my nightclub or all sorts of things. So, oh, and it's all laced down the back as well. I'm not sure about this piece, though. I'm not a big fan of these. I much prefer the more recent ones when they're a little bit shorter. And that's just because when you're kind of standing next to a strapping young man like Rex, he's actually a lot shorter than her. But the newer sort of dress pieces mean that they're the same height. So it's a very subtle difference, but it does make a difference, I think. But yeah, if I need somebody in sort of costume dress from a period or something like that, then yeah, that'll work. But anyway, I didn't have it. It was relatively well priced, so I thought I may as well have it in my collection. And then last on the minifigures, though, quite bad condition this actually. That is quite bad. All of the printing off the front there has been presumably eaten by a child, or very badly scraped or just played with in the garden. Oh yeah, it's lost virtually all of its colour there, so that's not good at all. So I'll be putting that back on the wanted list, I think. But he would have been a wonderful blue rock monster. And his name is Glaciator, because he's the blue one. And he's from a few sets, including 8707, Boulder Blaster, which looks like a really fun vehicle that flicks dynamite about. Now, why am I buying these anyway? Well, I've got a couple of them underneath the Castle Rock in the tunnel, and I kind of hoped that Train Cam would pick them up every time it went through there. But unfortunately, because of the sort of change in lighting conditions, every time that train cam goes into the tunnel, it kind of goes, oh, it's dark in here. And by the time it's readjusted to the darkness, it's back out in the light and it goes, oh, it's light out here. And it never really gets to even focus on the rock monsters that are living in there. So I might have to do another scene. But regardless, this guy will not be part of it because he is looking pretty worse for wear, if you ask me, which is a real shame. But nonetheless, it's the sort of inevitability of buying used pieces sometimes, and I don't think it's that expensive. But I might get in touch with the seller and see if they'll take off his cost. And while I'm on minifigures, here is another Build a Minifigure exclusive hairpiece. Now, it may look familiar to you, and that's because it is available again in other colours. So this one is available in dark red with kind of a gold hairband on the back, and would sometimes be Barbara Gordon or a fire chief or something like that. It's also available in black with a silver hairband in it, and that would be Nya. I never know how to pronounce that name, that character, Ninjago, like on the Spinjitzu training Nya from the Lego Ninjago movie. That piece number, if you're interested, is 28432, so you can look that up in the catalogue. And that one, helpfully, as part of its description, does say BAM, or Build a Minifigure, as part of its description, so you know that this particular one is unique to there. But it's in this lovely blonde colour, or bright light yellow, I want to call it, something like that, light yellow. That would be really nice to use as well. You could almost put that on an air stewardess going into my new airport. It should look very sassy indeed. So there we go. And then we've got more plates, this time 12 deep ones. So we've got some 4x12s, quite a lot of them actually. Look at those, big fistful of those that will all need a good scrub in the sink. Loads. Where shall I put them? Big heap of those. Then we've got loads of bricks. Now these are largely to support the underneath structure of all these platforms. So I've got loads of 2x4 ones, some 1x4, 1x6, and an absolute load of these grill pieces as well to line the platforms with, because they'll be lined much like my other one, because I want the styles to look similar between the two stations. There's loads of those. A couple of those bricks with the grooves on. They just go at the base of my columns. Can't remember what these particular plates are for. Nope. Another one of those. More bricks. More bricks. And then a very important part for my haunted subway is these lower parts of body, which are kind of ghost parts. And they're wonderful, aren't they? So they've got hints of dark blue in them, but largely the sort of trans neon green, which is great. And that'll fit really well with some haunted, I don't know, subway workers or something like that, who'll have been possessed or just be haunting the place. And I've actually got quite a few of those, because he had 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So they'll be great to use alongside all the hidden side parts that I've got that are parts of ghosts, to really make the place thoroughly haunted. Very haunted indeed. Now, these were Ninjago pieces originally. They came from a lot of the Possessed sets, including 70732, City of Sticks, and that had 2 of them in. So yeah, they're really nice. Really happy to have those. So when I was trying to select this buyer, a lot of people say, well, how do you find the buyers? Which ones do you use? I only ever select them due to what they've got. And I picked this vendor because he had 4 of these, and he had a good spread of everything else I needed. So he didn't have absolutely everything that I could have wanted, but he had quite a few things. So they are brilliant. And especially with these unique hair pieces, I think that probably sold it. I was probably like, yep, I'm definitely buying from there, because they've got so much that I want. So that just leaves this bag then, which hasn't got many pieces in. It's another one of those. I don't know why they were separate. They're all getting washed the same way, so it doesn't matter. They might be new. There might have been a very few small number of new pieces. There's another small ugly rock piece. Dinosaur tail and lime from my undersea. So there's 3 of those. But then again, this bag can't be new because it's got stickered pieces in it. But anyway, so I've got 2 sticker pieces, 2 1x4 plates in white for some project or other. And then, kind of following up on a suggestion I got regarding my space tower. You know, I've got the prisoner, the alien commander prisoner on the top floor in the sort of top secret area, and he's in a little sort of police cell, well, space police cell. And somebody suggested that I could get these 2 tiles, which were part of a Batcave set, 6860. There's been a lot of Batcave sets. This is the one from 2012. I just have this alert sticker, which isn't very central, so that will definitely need moving with my patented hot tea technique. And also will need moving is this one that says holding cell. But yeah, they'll both be very useful there. So I might have to go back into that build at some point to add them. But very happy to have both of those. I mean, really, I could use them in a different place as well, because I've got so many aliens running around. We could have all sorts of alien holding cells. But they're really nice. And that set is a really good one, actually. Well, I mean, there's been some really good Batcaves, but I really like Bane's drilling machine in that one, the sort of red drilling machine. It seems that LEGO have done quite a few different drilling machines over the years. I always liked them. It's really sad that Bane is always in skin tones, so I can never get that figure and use him in my city because of my yellow skin only rule. But I suppose I could actually buy just the head of Bane, couldn't I? And put it on any old sort of body that's got that sort of very deep vest, or maybe they're braces or suspenders if you're American, that I kind of make him look like he's wearing a wrestler top or something like that. So maybe I could find a wrestler torso that will go well with that head and would look like a yellowed up version of Bane. But I'd definitely have to buy a Bane head because I don't think I'll be able to fake that. Anyway, so there's a few more bricks that are just out of shot, but they are all the same as ones that we've seen already. So you can see it's looking very grey indeed. But that is vital for our subway station. So I'm really looking forward to building that over the next few weeks, or 2 weeks to be exact. But we've got some really interesting minifigure pieces here that we can use independently, including 2 unique ones, at least to me, and some wonderful ghost parts and under the sea stuff as well. So, really good haul. Very happy. And here you can see the neon pieces just with a UV light shining on them and not, and they really do glow, don't they? And that's something we could try with the subway station once we've got it fully haunted with all of these neon pieces. Well, indeed, you'll see a lot of these pieces very soon when we do that build over the next 2 weeks, which is another one I'm really looking forward to. But for today, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, well, I think we'll be doing part 4 of the airport, because how can we not? And then I'll be going straight on to the Halloween special, which we'll be doing dedicated for the next 2 weeks. So, see you then!